Hello, and welcome to Historical Humans Reads, where we take primary sources and bring them to your screen. I'm Colum Coleman, and today we are reading from the First Philippic, a public address to the Athenian people given by orator and statesman Demosthenes in 351 BCE. It was the first of three speeches, though a fourth of dubious origin exists, delivered by Demosthenes, warning of the impending threat posed by King Philip of Macedon towards the city of Athens. Although Demosthenes eventually roused the Athenian people to action, it proved to be too little, too late, as Philip, with the help of his son, Alexander the Great, would conquer the city alongside the rest of Greece. Today, we'll be reading the opening passage of the First Philippic. With that, let's begin. Had the question for debate been anything new, Athenians, I should have waited till most of the usual speakers had been heard. If any of their advice had been to my liking, I would have remained silent, or else proceeded to give my own. But as the subject of discussion is one upon which they have spoken often before, I believe that though I am the first to speak, I will be forgiven. For if these men had advised properly in time past, there would be no necessity for deliberating now. First, I say you must not despair, Athenians, under your present circumstances, wretched as they are. For that which is worst in them as regards the past is best for the future. What do I mean? That our affairs are a shambles, men of Athens, because you do nothing that you ought. But if you had done your duty and things were still the same, there would be no hope of improvement. Consider next what you know by report, and men of experience remember. How vast a power the Lacedaemonians had not long ago, yet how nobly and well consulted the dignity of Athens, and undertook the war against them for the rights of Greece. Why do I mention this? To demonstrate and prove to you, Athenians, that nothing, if you take precaution, is to be feared, and nothing, if you are negligent, goes as you desire. Take, for examples, the strength of the Lacedaemonians then, which you overcame by attention to your duties, and the insolence of this man now, by which, through the neglect of our interests, we are confounded. But if any among you, Athenians, think Philip hard to defeat, looking at the magnitude of his existing power and the loss by us of all our strongholds, they reason rightly. But they should remember that once we held Pydna and Poitidaea and Methone, and all the region round about as our own, and many of the nations now leagued with him were independent and free, and preferred our friendship to his. Had Philip then taken it into his head that it was difficult to contend with Athens, when she had so many fortresses to infest his country, and he was destitute of allies, nothing that he has accomplished would have been undertaken, and never would he have acquired so large a dominion. But he saw well, Athenians, that all these places are the open prizes of war, that the possessions of the absent naturally belong to the people on the spot. Those of the remiss to them that will work hard and take risks. Acting on such principles, he has won everything and keeps it, either by way of conquest or by friendly alliance. For all men will side with and respect those whom they see prepared and willing to make proper exertion. If you Athenians will adopt this principle now, though you did not before, and every man, where he can and ought, to give his service to the state, be ready to give it without excuse, the wealthy to contribute, the able-bodied to enlist, in a word, if you will become your own masters, and cease each expecting to do nothing himself, while his neighbor does everything for him, you shall then, with the gods' permission, recover your own, and get back what has been frittered away, and punish Philip. Do not imagine that his empire is everlastingly secured to him as a god. There are those who hate and fear and envy him, Athenians, even among those that seem most friendly. And all feelings that are in other men belong, we may assume, to his friends and allies. But now they are all cowed, having no refuge because of your slowness and indolence, which I say you must abandon right now. For you see the situation, Athenians, how arrogant the man has become, who leaves you not even the choice of action or inaction, but threatens and uses, they say, outrageous language, and, unable to rest in possession of his conquests, continually widens their circle, and, while we wait and delay, throws his net all around us. When then, Athenians, when will you act as becomes you? What then happens? When you are forced to, I guess. And how should we regard the events happening now? To free men, the strongest necessity is the disgrace of their condition. Or tell me, do you like walking about and asking one another, is there any news? Why, could there be greater news than a man of Macedonia subduing Athenians and directing the affairs of Greece? Is Philip dead? No, but he is ill. And what difference does it make to you? If anything happens to them, you will soon create another Philip, if this is how you manage your affairs. For even if he has been exalted not so much by his own strength as by our negligence. And again, should anything happen to him, should fortune, which still takes better care of us than we of ourselves, be good enough to accomplish this, observe that, being on the spot, you would step in while things were in confusion and manage them as you pleased. But as you are now, even if occasion offered Amphipolis, you would not be in a position to accept it, with neither forces nor plans at hand. However, as to the importance of general enthusiasm in the discharge of duty, believing you are convinced and satisfied, I will say no more. This has been an excerpt from the First Philippic on Historical Humans Reads. If you enjoyed this video and would like to hear more excerpts from original texts, please subscribe to be notified of the next one. If there is a work you would like to hear, be sure to like the video and leave a comment listing it below. Thank you for listening.